Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you have a problem with a neighbor and you want to solve it, but you don't want to, get in a physical altercation, so you want to solve it somehow with, I don't know, even with threats, even with warnings, but you don't want to get in a physical fight. Okay, you don't want to get there. So you try to influence it by all kind of means, but short of violence, physical violence. There's a point where you're gonna stop. So when you try your little, attacks, bullying and all that without physically attacking the person because you don't want to get into that, there's a point where you decide that if it doesn't work, and your neighbor is resisting your attacks. There's a point where your neighbor probably will warn you. Now, he can warn you from time to time and you still try. But there's going to be a point where you understand that beyond that warning, the last warning, there's going to be definitely a physical reaction that you don't want. You have to have that understanding when that is the last warning. It seems like the United States of America right now, with China and with North Korea, and not with Iran, but even with Russia, with Russia is a little bit beyond, but that's a different story. But we're talking about China because I have an article on China. When will the United States back off? Because I don't think the United States, I'm 100% certain, 99.9 certain, United States does not want to get into in a direct confrontation, nuclear confrontation with China. They would like to use the weasels to fight a conventional war with China, yes, like Ukraine. But I don't think the Chinese will be in a mood for that. So the weasels being South Korea, Japan, maybe Australia, maybe Canada, whomever is going to say yes, 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 we're going to suck it right now. So they're not going to be involved. They're going to fight again from the distance. China keeps warning the United States, and the warnings are escalating in the verbal warning. You know what I mean? When will the United States stop? Because if they don't, China just announced, if you continue, we're going to get into an altercation. Is this the last warning? Is this maybe 2 more warnings until the real altercation? I don't know. Let's analyze that situation. In the meantime, let's read this article coming from Reuters. And the headline reads, China says if US does not change path towards it, there will surely be conflict. So it says if not change path towards it, there will surely be conflict. So you either change whatever you're doing right now, otherwise surely will be conflict. So when will you say, okay, I think I went too far. The next time this guy is really gonna do something? Because I guarantee the United States cares about that. They're not reckless, but they're like a bully, trying to push until you react. And the Russians reacted over there. Oh, no, that was the Russians who, how do you call it, unprovoked attack. Okay, whatever, But the fact is, as in any kind of scuffle, you ask both sides, hey, what happened? What happened here? And they tell their story, the other side's going to tell their story. But you can't just say, well, we're going to take this story and we ignore everything you say over there. We're going to dismiss it. That's not how you do, unless you are unfair. I think that these guys are unfair. Because if you ask the other side, as bad as they are, they surely have some reasons that they can put forth. And you don't want to accept them because why? Run against the other side? Just think about, talking about Ukraine for a second, in this case, the Russians. Just think about this. Put yourselves in the shoes of the Ukraine, make it as your house. And you have neighbors that don't like you. And they bring closer and closer and closer to you military equipment, bazookas, tanks, rockets, and all around your property. Should you feel anything about it? Or how would you feel about it? Don't tell me you're just going to keep watching stupid whatever TV. No, you're gonna tell the guys, back off. You're too close. You're too close. You're coming closer, closer. When are you gonna break? On the 24th of February 2022? And you tell them, and they say, we don't want to talk to you. You don't tell us what to do. We can come as close as we want, as long as we don't enter your house. What? Still, they're not your friends, are they? By doing that and treating you like that. So what are you going to do? And you tell them, I'm going to do this, well, we're not going to talk to you. So if you look from the other perspective, that's one little argument that could say, really provoked, unprovoked, really try to take it in consideration? No. All right then, when we're not talking anymore, the guns will talk. So in China, the same thing it seems to me. These guys push it, push it, push it. China's foreign minister blamed the US for rising tensions between Washington and Beijing and said if the US does not change its path, no amount of guardrails can prevent derailment and there will, I'm quoting, surely be conflict and confrontation, end quote. The US has been engaging in suppression and containment of China. Why? Is it China a bad dude? And if yes, why? Why do you have to suppress and why do you have to contain China? Why is China the enemy again? Oh, because it's going to threaten your hegemony as the self-appointed boss of the planet? Based on what? On democracy? I thought you like diversity and inclusion. All of a sudden you are very exclusivist. So the US has engaged in suppression and containment of China rather than competition, Foreign Minister Qi Gang told reporters at a news conference in Beijing on the sidelines of an annual parliament meeting. So this is their view. This is what they tell you. This is how they see things. Are you going to talk to them or are you going to just dismiss them as you dismiss the Russians? If you dismiss the Russians, you're going to have this. Oh, that's what you want? Okay, keep doing what you're doing then. This mistaken policy by the US towards China is, and I'm quoting, a reckless gamble, end quote, with the stakes being the fundamental interests of the two peoples and even the future of humanity. That means nuclear weapons, boy, Qi said. If you talk about like that. That doesn't talk, how do you call it, conventional weapons here. That's why he put it over there. Humanity. Relations between the two superpowers have been tense for years over a number of probably issues, included Taiwan, trade and Ukraine, but they worsened after controversy involving a balloon, which the US said was a Chinese spy balloon and shot down last month. No, I think they made this big deal, and I tell you how. When I used to be younger, I used to be, more or less, not in the United States of America, so time out. As a kid, I was, in friendships, not really gangs, but how you want to call it, all right? And that's how you do. You go in, we used to meet in the schoolyard. We have the school, and you had the group here, your group over there, and so on. So we knew who was the guy who was in charge of a group, was the strongest guy, fist-fighting, strong guy. So, if let's say you knew who's weak, who's strong by fighting, by intimidation, by bullying, by all that. So if someone wanted to, for instance, get something, beat someone up, he would go and you didn't have to do to that guy who wanted to beat you up. You didn't have to say anything. He would come to you and he would say, hey, are you challenging me? Why are you looking at me? And boom. So you did something that caused him to react. That means somehow you looked at him in the wrong way. That was interpretation. So that reason was so important for him that he had to punch you in the face. Or he'd come and say, hey, did you say anything? No, I didn't. Yes, you said. Boom. So he made from nothing something just to hit you. So the thing with the balloon is something the same way. We're very offended with those balloons because you do that. What are you talking about? This is so stupid. You have satellites that can pinpoint things that you don't need a balloon. The Chinese have it. You have it. The stupidity of blaming a balloon for its, spying, it's so childish. Nowadays, these guys can see if you're outside in your yard and they're a nudist, they can see your little thing over there, dangling around. From over there. What are you talking about? They need a balloon for that? I mean, they have so many spying methods that they need a balloon. That's for wizards, for idiots to think that. They need a balloon. Psst. And this guy, oh, you sent a balloon, a spy balloon. If it was so bad, the balloon, you would have shot it down the first second it entered Alaska. But you didn't. Why is that? So, did anybody got fired? Court-martialed? No. Should have been? Yes. If it was such an important thing as you say now it was, the persons who did not notify anybody when that balloon entered violated our airspace right here in Alaska. You shut it down after it crossed Alaska, Canada, United States from what? Northwest to southeast. Across the whole America, and you didn't shoot it down. You didn't know it was over there when it entered. Supposedly they followed it since it got up in China. And it went over South Korea, then it went over Japan, then it went over the Bering Strait, then it went into Alaska, then it went into Vancouver, and then it went down diagonal. And they shut it down only... Really? Don't tell me that it was an important thing. If it would have been an important thing, you would have shut it down before it entered Alaska. So, bye-bye. And if it was an important thing and you didn't, I want to see the people responsible, including Milley, including General Austin. I want them out, court-martialed, in prison right now. So don't bullshit, you know what I mean? Is it important or is not important? But they want to make it important but not punish anybody. It doesn't work that way. That means it was not important. And the Chinese had a balloon. They had a balloon to stand it over the United States. Can you believe that? I mean, what? Are those in the, what's his name? Jules Verne? 80 days journey around the world or something in a balloon? Is that what it is? They are back there in the, 19th century? Are you kidding me? But hey, if the society doesn't know shit, the society stays inside the home and watches The View or stupid movies or drinks too much beer, and now they use marijuana as much as they want. With these kind of people, they don't open a book unless it's porn, or fiction. What's your favorite? I'm reading fiction. Like what? I don't know, like soft porn, 50 Shades of Grey. Whew, Jesus fucking Christ. With these guys, you make a society and they vote. So with these guys, you can tell them that it was a spy balloon. Ooh, was Jules Verne in it? Jules Verne was in it? 80 days around the world. Jesus Christ, it's so stupid. So stupid. Like those guys need those. Next time when they're gonna say the Chinese did something, they came with a rowing boat across the Pacific. That's how they're gonna attack. Gonna use spears. These guys would believe that. There will be a big strata of the society here in the United States that would believe that the Chinese have spears, bows, arrows, and darts. Don't believe me? Go around the block a little bit, speak with them a little bit, talk to them, ask them like this: hey, how are you? Whenever you meet a smart guy anywhere, ask them a capital of a state. I don't know, ask them about, can you tell me the population of Bangladesh? He doesn't fucking know where Bangladesh is. He doesn't know what that is. A city? What is that? A region? What is that? A planet? Start with them like that. You can give even a European country. You say, give me the capital of Bulgaria. Well, Sofia. Give me the population. You know the population? They don't know shit. But they are very everybody knows everything about geopolitics, military, blah, 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 blah. They're all with Ukrainian flags. Ask them, give me four or five Ukrainian, important person, not political, cultural figures, composers, painters, poets. Okay, give me the population of Ukraine. Give me 5 cities, names. Give me the population of Kiev. Give me the national day of Ukraine. And you ask these guys, they don't know shit, but they love Ukraine. You can't love something you don't understand. You can't. I mean, you have to understand something in order to love. You have to understand, you have to respect it, and then you love it if you respect it and if you know what fuck you're talking about. So yeah, that's a good... next time when your boss talks to you ask him, the population, Mozambique. Tell me about the capital, I don't know, of Norway. Put it mildly, put it nicely. Don't go with Mozambique or, I don't know, Kuwait or something that he's like, you're gonna have a freaking heart attack or a stroke or something. You know, give him something easy that he might have heard of, Oslo or something like that. Unbelievable, my friends. These are the people. So yeah, there were balloons. There's balloons. Anyway, I think it's one more paragraph in this BS here. Washington's handling of the balloon incident created a diplomatic crisis that could have been avoided, Qin Gang told reporters on Tuesday. I totally agree with the Chinese, unfortunately, but these are the leaders that lead us into this bullshit. And when is China going to say enough is enough? And I think China is not going to say one more step and going to hit. I think they're going to hit. And I think they're going to hit not like the Russians. I think the Chinese will go way stronger and deeper than the Russians. I don't think they're going to be like, being kick here, mobilize 100,000 people, go with a few tanks here, go with the... No, don't mobilize the 30 million that you could. No. Don't include everything. No, don't hit over there. No, don't kill Zelensky. No. What the hell is that kind of war? And when they tell it is an all war, it's a total war. It's not a total Krieg. Total Krieg when you mow everything down. Do you see that? Yeah, you see that. Well, I think if they wanted, they would have mowed everything down a long time ago, probably in the first 3 days. Okay? So yeah, blah blah blah. But as I said, if you don't speak French and someone knows, I don't know, 50 words in French, you cannot figure things out if that guy really speaks French or not, because you can't assess it. The same here, balloon. So I think this is a big threat that this guy just made right now. And said, well, keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to go straight into a collision course. And the United States will say, I dare you. Okay, we'll see. And are you ready for that? Then are you going to reverse it? These guys are so confident and cocky in their little the delusion that they think they will never be hit. They're too far away from everybody, and they can destroy left and right with someone else's hand that they will, okay, over here. I don't want to scare you too much, but if you think that on this territory of, and I don't know this, it's just that I'm using probabilities and possibilities. If you think that on this territory or in other territories there's no enough people that could cause harm, just by using your imagination, you can figure things out. I mean, anyway. And these guys are pushing it. My how should I put it? My surprise, should I say, is with the Iranians. They call it terrorist state, terrorist that. Really? Like where? In Syria, and where is that? Where? I mean, it's kind of a pretty mild world if you look at it in that respect. Because if you have some crazies, they could acquire some little things that will deploy in certain positions and detonate them over there without even having them to launch them. I mean, these guys bring tons of drugs in the United States with the boats and submarines and across the border. Tons, like a house, trucks, submarines and boats. Do you think I can't bring something? Do you think that something like this doesn't exist somewhere? Brought by some and could be detonated? Jesus Christ. Just think about that. It's just... I hope it doesn't happen. But I don't know. I don't see that being impossible. That's what I'm saying. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.